Hello, welcome to Bletchley. Welcome to the National Museum of Computing. It's right next to in Bletchley Park. Really historic location for our industry, the computing industry. This building behind me, the National Museum of Computing, it's a pretty special place actually. There's loads of amazing stuff inside, all the way back, Second World War, even beyond that, but also into the present day, through like the communications revolution as well. They've just got lots and lots of stuff, and it's really well explained. Anyway, we're here for CollabDays, one-day event, a ton of really good speakers on the lineup. I think I counted 30. It's one day, so there's lots and lots of different tracks going on. There's lots of things happening. It's going to be a really good day.
We usually have a keynote speaker, but we had so many people wanting to speak at this conference that we crammed in as many of those sessions as we possibly could. We're sort of maximising those sessions and not having a sort of formal keynote. Just introduce ourselves. So I'm Brett Lonsdale. I'm also got Tony, Tony Bennett, and that was his name. Yeah. So.
The Beatles were only as good if they all four of them showed up. There's no point just having Ringo and George there because you're like, well, what's this about? So having everybody doing it and using it is absolutely key. It is where we actually do our work. For those of us that are notoriously bad at having 10 different screens open, I can cheat. I can press the Teams button and it pops up Teams in front of me, and they can come off mute or do what I want with it, or triage what I want to do.
It's actually kind of wonderful and amazing to be able to give sessions in a place like this, surrounded by so much history of computing, history and technology, and it's a real surprise as well. Like, this building encapsulates the oldest computer we have. It is in this building. There's so much history of the history of computing. And it's a building run by volunteers that are constantly fundraising to kind of make repairs and just keep the lights on and stuff like that. It's astonishing, given how much money there is in the industry, that not enough of it seems to find its way here. But it is wonderful to be able to come here and speak and listen and learn from sessions surrounded by. I mean, you are just walking along and you'll see something that will take you back to your childhood, or something that you've read about, or something that you have no idea what it is, but it looks cool. And so you learn that, it's the first machine that the post office used, or it's the oldest, they used it in the Second World War, the Enigma bombs, the Turing, the machines that Alan Turing worked on, just all this stuff. It's incredible. Some of it is working as well, which is astonishing. So you can see things happening. There's a couple of old, computers running, old programs doing things that you wouldn't even think you'd run on your watch now, like things to find prime numbers and stuff like that. But it's taking it an impressively long amount of time to calculate prime numbers because it's old hardware and old tech. It's a great. Honestly, if you're in the UK, you need to come and visit this place. Come and visit the National Museum of Computing. Come and see what's going on here. You don't have to come to this conference. Come to the conference as well when it's happening. But honestly, just come here anyway, because it's a really interesting place, and it's great to do sessions here as well. Is like an amazing bonus on top.
When we talk to people about what these tools do, a lot of people look at it and go, well, actually that just helps me. I don't have a specific need, it just helps me. So we talk about it as assistive tools.
One of the cool things actually about having all this stuff out here is that there's also lots of members of staff around. They're super knowledgeable. I think they're all volunteers as well, but they're really knowledgeable with their time. And they're always, you know, you can ask them questions, they can show you how this stuff works. And they've got all the stories as well. So it's really nice. It's not just that all this stuff is here, it's also there's people here who can explain it to you, who can tell you kind of what it was used for. And in many cases what it's been superseded by, and they can point to other things in the museum that it's been superseded by, which is really interesting as well.
A question for everybody. What's the number one digital collaboration tool that we use? Absolutely no. For all its faults.
Yeah, I did the update from the V2 to the V3 and everything broke, of course. So remember that you have to add you need to add this version and you need to add your region. It used to be just give me a tunnel. And now, depending on, you have to say, oh, I want a tunnel in the US, or I want a tunnel in Europe, or I want a tunnel in Asia, or whatever. Yeah, that also impacts the URL, of course.
So thanks for the sponsors, otherwise this event obviously couldn't take place. A very short introduction about myself. My name is Pieter. I'm from Belgium, so that's maybe why Pieter is written a bit strange if you're from the UK. I'm a consultant for over 17 years now, but I've mainly think of myself as, well, an explorer.
I must admit, when we pushed it to an extra set of sessions today, and just for those of you who obviously aren't involved in the process, we originally were only going to have 20 sessions today. We opened the call for speakers, and for those 20 sessions we had over 96 submissions, which was insane. And we were like, how can we get all of this good content into one day? So we added an extra room, and we added an extra slot. And I'm really impressed with those of you that made it through to the very final stop. So thank you everyone who's made it through the full day. We've got to say thank you to our speakers, because without them we have no content to deliver. So I'm just going to ask for a quick round of applause for all our speakers. And of course the sponsors, because if someone doesn't pay for it, we can't have it. So thank you to our sponsors.
Just come out of the final session, the goodbye session. What a fantastic day that was. Really, really good. Great to get some really good sessions in actually, and see some people I haven't seen for a while and catch up. Some really good representation of attendees and speakers from across Europe, even the US, some speakers from the US over as well, which is fantastic to see. But also this place is amazing. Definite recommendation, come and see the National Museum of Computing. Thank you ever so much for letting us be here today amongst some of your amazing equipment. Big thanks to all the attendees for coming. It was great to see so many of you. Massive thank you to the sponsors, the speakers, and of course the organisers who make this stuff possible. It's been a really, really good day, and I hope you've enjoyed kind of coming along with me and seeing it as well. I'll see you on the next video.